Hi, 1 Hour Smart Home here, and today we're going to review the Sensi Smart Thermostat, which we've got right here. This is the ST55 Sensi Smart Thermostat, and it's been out for a while, but the reason that it's still relevant is that it is one of the few smart thermostats that typically does not require a common wire, meaning that it's much easier to install and will be compatible with more systems. So it will allow you to control it remotely from your phone, or you can also control this with voice commands. It works with Alexa, Google Home, and HomeKit voice assistants, meaning that's compatible with all of the most popular voice assistants out there. Now, in my experience of using the Sensi ST55 Smart Thermostat, it is a bare bones smart thermostat that has been very reliable and gets the job done. And the reason that it is reliable is that it doesn't really have any complex features on the thermostat itself. Most of the features are all run through the app, and then it communicates via Wi-Fi to the smart thermostat. So even if you lose Wi-Fi signal or connectivity to the Sensi Smart Thermostat, it's just going to operate like a standard thermostat that has no Wi-Fi control in the absence of losing a Wi-Fi connection. There's nothing to reset. There's no issues if the power goes out and comes back on. This thing does have some batteries in it, so it's got that battery backup, and it's also the reason that it doesn't need that common wire in most cases. Now, if you have a heat-only system like a boiler, or if you have a heat pump system, you typically will still require a common wire to operate this. However, if you have a more traditional HVAC system like a furnace that's gas-fired with an air conditioner, you're going to be able to use the Sensi ST55 Smart Thermostat without that common wire, which is one of its key selling points. So it's a reliable smart thermostat that doesn't break the bank. This has come in at a lower price point. Typically, I've seen the Sensi Smart Thermostat come in around the $100 to $150 range, but there are all kinds of promotions that get run on these. So let's take a look at the Sensi ST55 app and go through some of the features there. Here we have the Sensi app, which shows the current temperature inside of our house, 71. That's also shown on the thermostat, 71. Then we've got our current temperature set point for our HVAC system, which is 62. It's shown here on the app, and 62 on the thermostat. Now I can just click here on the app and I can change this temperature, 76, and you'll see that it goes to 76 right here and that it says it's heating. Now you can choose the mode, heat, off, or cool, have your fan auto or off, have your schedule on or off, and if you want to make an adjustment to the temperature on the Sensi app or the thermostat, you can click right here, up and down for the buttons. So we'll put that up there, or you can click right here on the app and move that temperature up, and you can see it went to 82. You can also click the thermostat there, and then it just gives you a larger view on the app of the thermostat controls. So anything I can do over here on the app, I can also do on the thermostat physically itself. However, it's typically much easier to make adjustments on the Sensi app than it is to make adjustments on the thermostat other than the temperature controls or the mode controls. So let's say I want to change this to cool. I just click right there and it's now in cooling mode, and then I can change the temperature over here as well. So it'll take a moment for the app to update to show that it's actually in cooling mode. So let's click over here and then let's click down and see what happens, because we want this to change over on the thermostat as well. And you can see changing the temperature forced it to go down to cooling mode. And now instead of the orange background, we've got the blue background, which means that it's in cooling mode. And I can click the difference between cooling, heat, auto, or off right here. So let's go back to heat and see how long it takes for that to update. There, it's in heat. And now you can see it says it's heat over on the app. I can turn the fan on or have it on auto right here. So I'm just going to switch it over to auto, and you can see it made that change right there. Now you've got your usage and schedule. So let's click on schedule. Here we can have a program schedule, we've got geofencing, or no schedule at all. So you can just toggle between each one of these. Here, if we want Sensi to use the geofencing, we would need to allow our location. And you can put it into no schedule. Let's leave it back on our program schedule, and then you can edit your schedule here. If I wanted to create a cooling schedule, I just click right here, and then I click new schedule, and then you can choose your different days and what you want it to cool to. So you've got cool to 75, 83 at 8 a.m., cool to 75 at 5 p.m., and 78 at 10 p.m. I like it much cooler at night, so let's put that cool set point down to 65, and then click done. Here we've got the schedule adjusted between weekdays and weekend and having different settings. And you can adjust those days by clicking right here, or you can click back here to make it Friday, or you can have no days elected here. So let's go back, cancel that. And then you could also create a heat schedule, or you can create an auto schedule. If I click right here, click new, and then this gives us ranges. So it'll have an auto schedule to automatically turn on heating and automatically turn cooling on at a certain point. And that's why you've got a range between 70 and 75 here. So at 70, the heat will pop on, and at 75, the air conditioning will pop on. And then it's got that down the line here for different times. So if you choose auto, it'll automatically switch between heating and cooling. If you just choose heating or you just choose cooling, it's only going to use heating or cooling, and you would need to manually change over the mode by clicking that right here. So let's just click save, and we're going to click out of scheduling. And the other feature that you've got here is your early start. And what that does is automatically make your HVAC system turn on or off a little bit earlier so that the temperature is exactly that temperature at that time. So if you want it to be exactly 71 degrees at 4 p.m., you would turn this on and it would do the calculations to make sure that it's exactly 74 degrees at that time. Now let's click done here. Now some of the other functionality on the app is it shows our current location, it shows the current temperature, and then the high and lows for the temperature. What I do like about this interface is that it's very easy to use and discern what temperature everything is set to and turn it up or down. It also gives us our humidity right here, and it shows us our schedule. So it shows us 70 degrees at 6 a.m., 62 at 8 a.m., 70 at 5, and 62 at 10 p.m. You can also see over here, it shows our humidity as well. We're at 36%. It shows our approximate time, as well as our battery and our temperature of our room and the temperature of our HVAC set point. Now let's click up here in the settings and we can look at some of the other options. So let's click on display. We can display humidity, display time, and then choose the temperature display. So currently we've got it in Fahrenheit. Let's leave it there. Now let's take a look at our system settings. Here we could lock the thermostat display if we wanted to, so it won't be able to be tampered with, and then it'll only be controlled through the app. So you could do that if you've got kids that are always messing with this. You could click over here and then it's only going to be controlled by the app. But we don't want that, so we're going to leave that off. Here you've got dehumidification and humidity control if you have a dehumidifier or humidifier. Now down here we've got our temperature limits, our cooling minimum set point, and our heating max set point. These seem a little too broad, so let's put this up to like 60 degrees. And let's make sure our heating max set point isn't too high. If you've got any pets, you want to make sure they don't get too hot. Then you've got your cool cycle rates and your heat cycling rate, and this just prevents your HVAC system from cycling on and off too much. So you can choose medium, or you can go fast or slow. A lot of times it doesn't seem to matter, but if you want to be able to adjust that, you can. You've got temperature adjustments and offsets here, and humidity offsets. And then you've got AC protection. A short delay when AC is quickly turned off and then on to prevent equipment damage. Let's turn that on. Now let's click back on our settings. Click done. Here, the last thing we've got is our usage, and it's going to show us our recent usage and our monthly archive, but I just reset this when I was connecting it, so that's not on here anymore. I'm going to click done, but it is a useful tool to understand how much you are using your system. Overall, the app is easy to use and the controls are intuitive. The one thing I have noticed is that it does take a little bit of time when switching modes to update from the app onto the actual thermostat itself. So let's change this to cool, and it takes us a second there, and then it's going to take us a little bit of time. It says heating right now. We want to turn that down, and eventually it will update, but it can take like, I don't know, 20 or 30 seconds. Here it only took us 10. It just is something that I've noticed. It's not always instantaneous, and that time it worked pretty quickly. But sometimes, I don't know if it's the Wi-Fi connection, but it takes a moment or two, but it always gets it figured out eventually. So how was it installing this, and what do I think of this thermostat? In my experience with the Sensi ST55 Smart Thermostat, it was easy to install. It takes about 15 to 30 minutes, depending on your experience and comfort level. We also have a video that shows you how to install that, so check that out in the description down below, where we show you exactly how to install this smart thermostat and some helpful tips if you are going to use this thermostat. In my experience, it has been a reliable, easy to use smart thermostat. It's maybe not as flashy as some of the newer smart thermostats out there on the market, but it gets the job done. It has a lower price point and is very reliable, in my opinion, because it doesn't have some of the additional complexities of a color display. It uses very low power because you've just got this digital calculator style display, and it is very easy to use. You can just turn up the temperature right here with the up and down buttons, which makes it very intuitive for most people using this, as well as you can just change the mode between heating, cooling, or off, and turn the fan auto and on right there. So it is simple to use. It's reliable. It comes in typically at a lower price point. It just is not as flashy and maybe as updated as some of the newer smart thermostats. However, Sensi does keep updating and maintaining the app, where most of the smart functionality actually happens, and then that app just communicates those commands directly to the thermostat, and you can do all your scheduling on the app very easily like we showed you. So thank you for watching this review of the Sensi ST55 Smart Thermostat. And once again, check down below if you want to watch other videos related to this smart thermostat. And if you want to support us, please subscribe, give us that thumbs up, or check down in the description. We've got a couple different products that we work with that do help support this channel, and we'll see you next time.